Munchkins and viewers alike, it's me Munchie and welcome back to another one of my Munchie Talks. Joining today is, well, I was gonna introduce her, but now she's over there. Minty! Minty! Like my puppy! Because as you guys should know by the title, I have actually talked about something very similar in the past, and it was using animals as shock value, and Minty had to introduce herself in that video and be, oh, so adorable. Look at this puppy here. Look at this girl. Isn't she so cute? Aren't you? Aren't you just so adorable? So she had to get her little spotlight moment in this one as well. So there she is. I love you! I love you! So today, instead of talking to you guys about the shock value of animals in videos, especially YouTube videos, I'm talking to you guys about insensitivity in our community when it comes to having animals in videos for entertainment purposes. The people that I'm going to be talking about today, I love them. They are wonderful people. Sometimes they just might not know that what they're doing could in fact be very insensitive. And for those of you who are unaware of what insensitive is, whether it be trying to do something and just not understand that it actually is affecting somebody else and you're just doing it for your purpose and your purpose only without seeing the other side to it, that's insensitive. It's like if somebody were to comment on my videos and said that, oh, you look blah 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 in a very negative way, that's very insensitive. It's not taking the other person's feelings into consideration. So today we're not talking about abuse, because a lot of the times people think abuse is very angry and punishment and physical. We're going to be talking about just neglect, but not intentional neglect. This is just going to be at the very bottom of like, ooh, this is doing the most amount of harm, but they're not trying to be neglectful. They're not trying to be abusive. It's just very low. So today we are talking about two amazing people, Rhett and Link on Good Mythical Morning, as well as one of their guests, which is Liza. Now, I've talked about Liza in the old shock value video of mine because she is the partner of David, and David Dobrik likes to make a lot of very neglectful videos regarding animals, and it's just funny how she's in a video that is going to be talking about a live animal such as a hamster. So that's why I got really up in arms yesterday, and I was like, really, we're going to be going down the same path using animals as entertainment for the purpose of just, you know, like a thumbnail and or just for a little skit. So I just want to say this before we get started. I'm not showing the video. I want you guys to go and to make your own decisions whether or not you liked what you saw or if you think it was just fine, because everybody has their own opinions. You can too, and I don't want to use their footage in my video when you can go and give them a view, if that makes sense to you guys. So Rhett and Link, they are supporters of animals. They love their animals. They've talked about their animals, but sometimes I feel like they make a little bit of a mistake, whether it be possibly due to a staff member bringing this up and saying, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, or if they decided it, or if maybe even Liza decided it. But in this video, they are doing a smelling challenge to see exactly, as they're being blindfolded, what they are smelling. And it was actually at the very beginning of the video where hamsters got pushed up and in these little plastic tiny boxes with a bunch of holes poked through them. They were in clear view, they had bedding in there, but when you took a look at the hamsters, you noticed that a lot of the hamsters that they had were very young and very different. So it made me think, okay, they pulled these hamsters from a pet store, and so let's look a little bit more about how old they are. The one that Rhett received looked exceptionally young, and the concern there is that very young hamsters, when getting transported around a lot, they are very susceptible to what is known as wet tail. It is a very deadly, almost all the time fatal disease. Even with antibiotics and getting treatment from a vet, there is probably only like 11% chance that that hamster will make it. It's very low. So having a very young hamster that doesn't have a strong immune system when they are just born, they are susceptible to this. And so what was wrong about this video, in my views, is that they just didn't know that they had hamsters that they were smelling. So unfortunately what happened was Rhett yelled at his, and I felt so bad because like I love Rhett and I love his reactions, and I do love Link too because, you know, he's very funny. But unfortunately, if you notice the hamsters in those boxes, they were trying to get away. They were trying to fully submerge themselves in bedding, which they could not do from all angles. Being inside a studio with those bright lights, and those are very hot lights too. They are nocturnal animals and they don't like those bright lights, especially during the daytime when they are nocturnal nocturnal, so this can stress them out even further, which could end up causing a few of those guys to have wet tail. Now people think that, oh, it's just, you know, a couple seconds or a couple minutes, it should not do any harm. But unfortunately, if you have not been around hamsters and or do not care for hamsters, then you don't understand that they are very sensitive and they could get diseases very quickly, very easily, and they could get easily stressed, very easily stressed. Unlike cats and dogs, where cats and dogs, we've domesticated them over the years and they are comfortable being around humans and human contact. It's all about the way that we handle animals. And unfortunately, I feel like somebody in this case was being very insensitive to include animals in this skit, such as hamsters, because they just don't do well in spotlight. Some of these hamsters were possibly going to be returned to the pet store. Now, this could have been from somebody who had hamsters. Maybe somebody among their staff just brought in all of their hamsters, which would be very interesting. But I would not personally go and take my hamster and then go put it in a studio inside a little box in the middle of the day. I would not want to do that to any of my hamsters. A lot of the times I will be filming at night for my hamsters because I want to respect their sleep schedule. I don't want to be waking them up. I don't want to be pestering them. I don't want to stress them out. And so just doing that for a very sensitive animal was a big no-no to me. But I love these guys, I really do, and I do appreciate their comedy, but using an animal such as these in a comedy act thinking that it is okay, we should not be telling our audience this at all. And I don't know if they realize that sometimes you have your audience members copycat you. They see something really fun and creative and then they go and mimic that. They go and say, hey, I'm gonna go get like 3 hamsters too, let's do this, I'm gonna do this with my friends, whether it be to make another similar YouTube video or just doing it, you know, to just have fun with your friends. This could be seen as very bad, and we should not be teaching people that this is okay to do, especially for like snakes. When people throw snakes into a little box and say, okay, put your hand in and feel them, because it also stresses out the snakes. So a lot of the times reptiles as well as small animals will get used for these types of skits. As my own personal opinion, I feel like we shouldn't do this. We shouldn't just push this out and say, okay, we want you guys to sniff these guys and just have them out in the middle of the day. It's so stressful to them, especially young ones. So if you guys agree or disagree, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If you liked the video and liked what I'm saying in this video, please hit like. And if you want to be a part of the Munchie family and see more content from me in the future, please subscribe. And hopefully we can all get along here too. This is just a discussion. These are my Munchie talks where I talk about it. And I also want to make a note, please don't go over to their channel and start harassing them. We want to be vocal about these types of things because we should be vocal, but we should not be harassing vocal. We shouldn't be calling names. We shouldn't be bullying. We shouldn't throw names at people just because we don't like what we see. We should try to have a discussion if we want anything to change. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!